This is Algebra 1, test number 16. Uh, Study guide, we're picking up on number 8, part 2. It says write an equation, or write the equation of a line perpendicular to the given line that passes through the given point. Again, just like number 7, this one is perpendicular. So that means we're going to take the slope of the line that's given, we're going to flip it, and we're going to change it. This is the slope of the line that's given. M equals 2/3. If it were parallel, we would use the exact same slope, but it says perpendicular. So we're going to flip it. We're going to use the reciprocal, and we're going to call that 3/2, and we're going to change it. It was positive, so it's going to become negative. So our slope is going to be negative 3/2. So your slope is negative 3/2. It says through the given point. The given point we have is this one right here, negative 6, 5. That is your x value and your y value. So we have a slope, we have an x, and we have a y. We know in slope-intercept form that it's y equals mx plus b. So your y value is 5, equals is going to stay the same, and b is going to stay the same. The m value is what we just found, negative 3/2. So that plugs right there in place of the m. Negative 3/2. And the x value is from the point as well, times negative 6. So 5 equals negative 3/2 times negative 6 plus b. B is the unknown. That's what we need to find. In order to write slope-intercept form, you need a slope and an intercept. We have a slope. We need to find an intercept. When we multiply these two together, negative 3 times negative 6 is positive 18. 2 times the 1 that this is over is 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9 plus b equals 5. When you subtract 9 on both sides to get b by itself, you get b's value is negative 4. So if b is negative 4 and m is negative 3/2, now we have a slope and a y-intercept. Y equals mx plus b. M's value we found since it was perpendicular is negative 3/2. B's value we just found by plugging in the point is minus 4. Negative 3x halves x minus 4. Number 9 says identify the slope and y-intercept, then graph the equation. Nice and neat for us. Y equals mx plus b. M's value is 5/3. B's value is positive 2. Remember, b tells you where to begin. Begin on your y-axis at positive 2. So that's where we're going to put our first point right there. Your slope tells you where to move. That's why it starts with an M in this class. We can remember it that way. Tells you to go up 5 since it's positive, and to the right 3 times since it's positive. That's where the positive numbers are. So from the point we already have, we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, and we're going to go to the right 1, 2, 3 times, and we're going to put our next point right there. Once you have 2 points, you can draw a line through those 2 points, and that's what your graph should look like. Number 10 says y equals negative 2x minus 2. Again, nice and neat. Mx plus b. Your b value, remember, it is the sign that goes with it. Don't leave that off. Is negative 2. Your m value is negative 2. B tells you where to begin, so begin at negative 1, 2 with your first point right there. Your m value, your slope, tells you where to move. It says go down 2 since it's negative 2. Remember, with slopes, they're always considered a fraction. So if it's an integer whole number, as we call them, put it over 1 to where you have another direction to move. Negative 2 tells you to go down 2. Positive 1 tells you to go to the right 1. So down 1, 2 more, and to the right 1 time will put you a point right there. Once you have 2 points, you can graph your line through those 2 points to show the equation y equals negative 2x minus 2. Number 11 says write an equation of the line with the given slope and y-intercept. Isn't that nice of them to do this for us with all the work we've been doing? Y equals mx plus b. All we got to do is put y equals m's value times x plus v. B, nice and neat, m goes in right there, 1x. B goes in right there, positive 4. Don't leave it as 1 times something. There's never a reason to write that. Write it in its best form, y equals x plus 4. Number 12 says write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. No problem. What is the b value based on the picture? Where does it cross through the y-axis? It crosses through right there. B's value is positive 1. Use the highlighted points to determine what the slope is. Your slope from this point here goes down 1, 2, 3 times. Down 3 is negative 3. And it, to this point here, goes to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To the right 8 times. You can't simplify that one any further. Your slope is negative 3 over 8. So you have an m and a b. Write your equation. That's all you need to write the equation. Mx plus b. M is negative 3 over 8. B is positive 1. Negative 3 8 times x plus 1. (13) says find the slope and y-intercept. Again, nice and neat for them to do that for us. Y equals mx plus b. Your m value is what multiplies by x. Your slope is 4/5. Your b value is the sign that goes with that. The b is the y-intercept. It's negative 1. Slope is 4/5. Remember, m is slope, b is y-intercept. 14 says use the slope and y-intercept to graph the equation. Again, nice and neat. Y equals mx plus b. So you can see what your m is. M is 4/5. B is positive 3. B tells you where to begin. So begin at 1, 2, 3. There's your first point. M tells you to go up 4 and go right 5. So up 1, 2, 3, 4 times. To the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Up 4 and to the right 5 times would be something like that. And when you graph through those 2 points, try to draw it a little bit straighter than that. One more time. When you graph through those 2 points, it'll look something like that. (15) says find the x-intercept and y-intercept of the line. In order to find the x-intercept, you plug in 0 for the opposite variable. The opposite variable is y. So 10x minus 4 times 0 is equal to 120. Anything times 0 cancels that part out. 10x equals 120. Divide by 10 on both sides to get x's value, or the x-intercept is going to be at 12. In order to find the y-intercept, you're going to plug in 0 for the opposite one. This time you're going to plug it in for x. 10 times 0 minus 4y equals 120. Again, anything times 0 cancels that part out. Negative 4y equals 120. When you divide by negative 4 on both sides, a positive divided by a negative is a negative. 120 divided by 4. 4 goes into 12 3 times and into 0 0 times. The y-intercept is negative 30. So that's 2 points. You could graph that equation. On the x-axis, you could put a plot at 12. And on the y-axis, you could put a plot at negative 30. Graph that equation. Number 16 tells you to find the slope of the line. Toughest part about this, identifying 2 good points. What I mean by 2 good points, don't use that point right there because it's in the middle of x values. This is a good one to use right here. This is a good one to use right here. So if you just count them, you could have used different ones besides those. Up 1, up 2, up 3, up 4 is positive 4. To the right once, to the right twice, positive 2. 4 divided by 2, we know the slope for this one is going to be 2. 17 says find the slope through the pair of points. Well, you needed your slope formula. M is the change of y sub 2 minus y sub 1, or the rise, over the change of x sub 2 minus x sub 1, or the run. Easiest way to do it, label them all. X comma y, point 1 sub 1, point 2 sub 2. So your M value is your y sub 2, that's this, 0, minus your y sub 1, 4, over your x sub 2, 8, minus your x sub 1, 5. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. 8 minus 5 is 3. Your M value is negative 4 over 3. 18 tells you to graph the linear equation. Again, nice and neat, nice and simple. Mx plus b. Your b value is negative 4. Tells you where to begin. Your m value is negative 3. Remember, slopes are always written as a fraction, so make it over 1 if you have to. B tells you to begin at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, so we'll begin right there. Slope tells you to go down 3 times, right 1 time. Down 1, 2, 3 times, right 1 more time. Second point, you have 2 points. You can graph your equation through your 2 points. Number 19 says solve for y, then graph the equation. So solve for y means make it say y equals mx plus b. That means we want to move this to the other side. Other than that, the y is already by itself on one side of the equal sign. So that says negative 2x, which is the same thing as minus 2x. Undo that by adding 2x to both sides. When you add it to the left, add it to the right, that gives you y equals positive 2x minus 3. That's solved for y. Y equals mx plus b. Now we can clearly see our m is 2 and our b value is negative 3. B tells us to begin at negative 1, 2, 3. There's our first point. M value is 2. It's over 1. That tells you to go up 2 and to the right 1. So up 2 and to the right 1 is where you'll put your second point right there. You have 2 points. You can graph your equation through those 2 points to look like that. Number 20, 21, 2, and 3 tell you to solve these simple equations. Number 20 has variables on both sides. Bring your smaller 2x over to your larger 3x side by subtracting 2x. You do it there, do it here. 3x minus 2x is 1x. Minus 8 equals negative 3. Undo minus 8 by adding it to both sides. X equals, think of a number line if you have to at this point, negative 3 plus 8, or subtract them since they're opposite signs. You get 5, and 8 is the higher absolute value, so it's going to be positive 5. For number 21, collect all your variables or combine your like terms. 8d minus 4d is going to be 4d, plus 2d is 6d, minus 8 equals 5d. Like on number 20, we have variables on both sides of the equation. We brought the smaller 2x over to the 3x for number 20. For this one, even though 6x is larger than 5, 6d is larger than 5d, it's in our best interest to bring 6d over to where negative 8 will stay by itself on the left. Subtract 6d. If you do it there, do it here. 5d minus 6d is negative 1d equals, we still have negative 8 on the left. Get rid of negative 1 times that by dividing by negative 1. If you do it there, do it here. A negative divided by negative is a positive 8. D is 8. 22 says 8 over 9 times x plus 3. 2 steps we have to do for this one. Again, we're working our order of operations backwards. Undo plus 3 first by subtracting 3. If you subtract it there, subtract it here. 5 is what's left over. 8 over 9 times x. Undo that by dividing by 8 over 9, which is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal 9 over 8. When you multiply by 9 over 8, do the same to the right to balance the equation out. 5 times 9 is 45, and that'll be over 1. 1 times 8 is 8. This cancels out, leaves you with x equals 45 over 8. And that's simplified as it's going to get. Bring positive 12 over to the left by subtracting it. If you subtract it there, subtract it here. 19 minus 12 is 7 equals negative d or negative 1d. Undo that by dividing by negative 1 since it's multiplying. If you do it to the right, do it to the left. D equals a positive divided by negative is a negative 7. And then there were a few I had to write in to make sure we had those on there. Write an equation in slope-intercept form that passes through the 2 points. We're writing it in slope-intercept form. We need to have a slope and a y-intercept. So in order to find the slope of 24, 5 minus 3 is 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. Your slope, 2 divided by 2, is going to be 1. We need to find the y-intercept. Probably easier to use this point. It's smaller than 4, 5. So plug 3 in for your y. 3 equals m is 1 times x. Plug in 2 plus b. 2 times 1 is 2 plus b equals 3. And when you subtract by 2 to get b by itself, you get b's value of 1, which is just like m's value of 1. Write your equation. Y equals mx plus b. M's value goes right here, 1, plus b's value goes right here, positive 1. Remember, there's no reason to write 1 times x like that. Y equals x plus 1. We're doing the same for number 25. Find your slope. We'll do it like this. 3 minus 0 is 3. 4 minus a negative 2 means plus 2. It's going to be 6. That simplifies. 3 goes into it once and into 6 twice. The slope for that one is 1 over 2. Find your y-intercept. Y equals mx plus b. Your y value and your x value are 0 and 2. So your y value plugs in right there. Your x value plugs in right there. Your m value we just found is right there. 1/2 times that is equal to that plus b. So when you multiply 1/2 times negative 2, half of negative 2 is going to be 1. And then since it's a positive times a negative, it'll be negative 1 plus b equals 0. Add 1 to both sides. B's value is 1. Now that you have m and you have b, y equals mx plus b. M's value again is here, 1/2 x plus b is right here, plus 1. 1/2 x plus 1. And then the last one, number 26, says write an equation in slope-intercept form perpendicular to y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. Y equals mx plus b. This is what you're interested in this equation. The m is negative 1 over 2. Remember, if it were parallel, it would be negative 1 over 2. You'd leave it just like that. It says that they're perpendicular, though. Remember, perpendicular, you use the negative reciprocal. Flip it, it becomes 2 over 1, and it's already negative. Change it to make it positive 2 over 1. So the new slope is positive 2. The perpendicular slope is positive 2. Use the point that's given to you, 2, 12, and this is your x value. This is your y value. Again, y equals mx plus b. Plug everything in where it belongs. X's value will be plugged in right here. It's right next to it, so it'll be 2. Y's value will be plugged in right here. It's 12. And m's value will be plugged in right here. It's 2. Everything else, the equal stays the same. The plus b stays the same. That's what we're looking for. When you multiply 2 times 2, you get 4 plus b equals 12. And when you subtract 4 to get b by itself on both sides, you get b's value is 8 to go along with your slope value of 2. So y equals mx plus b. M's value, again, is 2. Your b's value is positive 8. We just found it right here. Plus 8. 2x plus 8.